Hey y'all, hey, it's your girl Nay. I'm gonna do this really fast because I am super busy. The Deadboy Detectives was something I watched last weekend. It came out April 25th and it's on Netflix right now. And I feel like you guys should watch it. It's excellent. So first and foremost, the topics I would like to talk about is I love the diversity of the cast. It's like black, white, Asian, everything in between is in this show and I just enjoy that. We had a demon, we had a emo butcher, we had the Esther who was the witch. I thought it was super clever. Now I have a question for people that want to watch it. Of course, spoilers are in this video, okay? So, was Edwin sacrificed by the boys because he was gay? And why did he end up in hell? Not because he was gay. Like, don't play that bullshit on my thing, but I really would like to know. Now, also the witch. I'm glad that she wasn't a stereotypical witch that was giving occult vibes. Like, for instance, there's a conspiracy theory, also folklore elites, that they take children for their vitality to keep them young. They use alchemy. So I also was like, wow, I like that. Like, I thought that was extremely clever. Now, why did Crystal still mess with that demon? Why was she twisted like that? She was kissing on ghosts and demons. Like, I get it. Because Charles is Charles is a cutie, but still, not the demon. Like, why would you kiss a demon after you found out he was a demon? But then we found out that she wasn't the greatest person. So, but she became a great person. Also, you could apply that in your real life. So when it came to Crystal kissing on demons, I feel like we could apply that to real life. Like, if you don't know, energies are exchanged when you get freaky nasty. And you have to be mindful because you can get butt freak nasty with people and they could take your energy and your good luck. So I felt like that was just something to talk about as well. That's why you have to learn how to sexually cleanse. And if you guys need that, I will put that in the comments if you need it, or in the bio maybe if you guys need it. But you guys have to learn how to sexually cleanse and cleanse yourself all the time. Okay? I enjoy the representation of magic, like the representation of cats, crows, and snakes. I still hate them though. I still hate snakes so bad. I feel like that was the worst part for me. Because I was just like, I love this show, but y'all keep showing this nasty snake. Ugh. For instance, one of the examples is the representation of the quote unquote Wicca signs when they are trying to first get the demon outside of Crystal. Although he was still in her head, most of the times they use pentacles and other things of that nature. Although people just think that's for satanic purposes. Although if you really look into religion, Satanism and other cult-like things are not what they are portrayed on television. I just really like religion, such as like Christianity, Islam, like Judaism. I learned about Satanism, Buddhism. I'm always interested in things like that. So that's how I learned about Satanism. For real. Like, and I asked somebody that actually practiced that. It was actually terrifying, but it's not what you think. My mind is always open. I like to learn. I don't practice that, but there was also a mentioning of astrology, which I love. I love astrology. Your girl's a Leo. They did stories about Lilith. Now, I don't want to say I know too much about Lilith, but they did a quick story about Lilith, and I like the representation of her, how she was for women. I'm pretty sure people know a little bit more about Lilith than me, and I don't want to say I know so much about her, but I think that she was represented really great in the show, and I have to study a little bit more about her. I loved how there was mermaids and folklore, especially in episode 4. I love how they showed the exorcism of Crystal. I loved how they had the individuality of each character and they developed, right? So everyone had their own space of growth. And that's including the Cat King. That's including Charles, Edwin, Crystal, and even Nico. I love Nico so bad. So when it came to Charles, the story about Charles in general broke my heart. My daughter has a crush on him, like real bad. Like, don't tell her I told you unless she watches this. But Charles' story broke my heart, how he was abused and his mom was also getting abused. And she often wouldn't defend him because she was afraid. And we learned why Charles was repressing his anger, and he wanted to be a good guy. And he also wanted to make those jock dudes good guys because he was having an internal battle. Like, is he even a good guy? Because, like, he knocked the sense out of that night nurse, who now they have to work with. So I thought that was super cool. Well, not him knocking the hell out of night nurse, but you get what I'm saying. But I remember he was defending a boy that was Pakistani, because he asked, like, what made him so different? Because he was Caucasian and Indian, and he defended him, and the boys turned against him, and he had internal bleeding because he ran into the lake. Well, they ran him into the lake. They basically threw rocks at him that made him have internal bleeding. He couldn't go home because he was getting abused there. So he ended up finding a place and basically have hypothermia. The crazy thing is, although his parents didn't care about him, like, and he watches his parents, they never even really looked for him, and his case wasn't even open again. So no one knew what happened to him. Also, this was like in the 80s because he was like an 80s kid. And he transitioned into being a ghost thanks to, like, Edwin. Although Edwin has, like, a really tough exterior, like, he's just a very kind young man. His spirit is kind. He's just hard of what he's been through. Like, he had to stay in hell when he was like, not admitted into there. And then the part where I feel like also when he was in hell and you had to see what he experienced in hell, I felt like that was actually really a great representation of that, like what hell is, especially because I felt like in this show, they had a lot of, like, biblical references, the 7 deadly sins, Wicca, earth magic, hoodoo, like with the ancestors with Crystal, but I'll get to that. Like, it was great. It was great. Like, I'm sorry, it was so well written. So well written. Also, I loved how Edwin and Charles was in hell. They were in the middle of hell. And Charles admitted his feelings for him. And they were in the middle of hell. And Edwin admitted his feelings to Charles. And Charles never treated him different. Even when they got out of that situation, like, he never treated him different. Also, he had a pansexual pin on, so you know what I'm saying? Maybe he's with the shits. Also, the 80s was an androgynous femboy time. So I wouldn't be shocked at that either if he was, like, bisexual. We had Prince, you know what I'm saying? We had Michael Jackson. We had the boys with the eyeliner. I liked it. It was a time to be alive. The time was had, but I'm a 90s baby. Also, it gutted me like a fish when Charles was rescuing Edwin and from hell, and the demon kept chewing on his flesh. I was like, ah! It was crazy. Again, I did mention it was a biblical reference. How you're like, you're constantly, like, reborn, like, in hell, supposedly, and then, like, you burn again. But to me, that doesn't make sense because we're actually a soul and we're not flesh. But again, I'm not here to go back and forth with you guys. It just was a great reference. Also, I liked in hell how they had the deadly 7 sins, but gluttony was so disgusting how they were, like, throwing up all over the place. Less really freaked me out because there was blood everywhere, and it was people losing their virginity or bestiality because we saw some animals in the space that were dead. And I was like, the writers are so good. The representation of what we can see in our eyes was so good. Like, I really hope you guys watch this and then come back to my YouTube, or just come back and talk to me on TikTok. My TikTok name is Naomi Khadija as well, Naomi Khadija 1, or just Naomi Khadija. It was excellent. It was excellent. So also, when you guys watch it, I didn't get when all those people were standing there and Edwin was like, we have to help them. And it's right before they escaped. And Charles was like, we cannot help them. This was episode 7. So could someone break that down to me in the comments or when I put this on TikTok, because I was lost. The Cat King in the beginning, I was like, he's creeping me out, but I always respected him because he was like, I'm gonna put this on your bracelet, but I'm never gonna do anything to you because it's not consensual. And I was like, we love a consensual king, even though you're creepy and had a bracelet on your crush. It was giving Leo man vibes. No shade. No shade. because I'm a Leo girl. You know what I'm saying? But as time passed, he grew on me. And the end, when Edwin gave him a kiss on the cheek, I thought it was great because he was probably thinking in his head, like, I know he want me. I know he want me. But girl, Edwin don't want you. Let it go. Jenny the Butcher was like your regular mean alt girl, but inside she was gushy and sweet. But can we talk about how the librarian was batshit crazy? Crazy, okay? Like, she was like, yes. At first I thought she was sweet until she said, oh, she was looking in Jenny's window. Excuse me? Like, what? She was like, yeah, sometimes I look in your window and I imagine what your pillow smells like. I'm gonna smell your pillow. Girl, what? You're going to jail. And then you got mad because Jenny didn't want to be with you? Girl, and then she's in there crying in hell. Oh my God, girl, bye. Her name was Maxine, a mess. Maxine was a mess, okay? A mess and a half. I thought it was really sweet when... Oh, yeah, I already said that. I thought it was really sweet until she told her that she would look inside her window and see what she was watching and then copy it. That was insane. But I do love how she cared for the girls. And even after she found out they had all these powers and there was ghosts there and everything in between, even with Nico, who Nico was like literally one of my favorite characters. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It was Charles, Nico, and yeah, it was Charles, Edward, and Nico. And Crystal. Like, all of them were my favorite, but they all had like a different part of my heart. But I loved how Jenny the Butcher gave them so many chances because she really didn't want to throw them on the street. She would like fake threaten them, but she was a kind person. Even after she found out everything, she didn't even kick them out. She still like loved them down. And I hope she does go to England with them, because it's like they created their own communities because they were outsiders in their own families, which I feel like is wonderful. Honestly, Crystal had a lot of development as well because in the last episode, we kind of seen who she was, but that was also because of her negligent parents as well. And from the Soul and Memory, however, Crystal, I had up and down emotions with Crystal, but I know it's because she had not her memories and she didn't know who she was. But sometimes her attitude kind of like pissed me off a lot. But I love the episode when she found out who she was, minus her memories. I love that she found her ancestor and she found her element, which was earth. And shout out to the Taurus because it's Taurus season. And they put everything into perspective in her life. And the earth element, if you guys don't know, everything has their own element. So the earth element grounds people, which grounded her into her powers. The writers were writing. You understand me? Like, I also love the walrus. And the Setna story, the goddess of the sea. I love the mythology in this show. I also love that Nico was a friend to everyone and so respectful that it honestly saved her life because we seen her at the end. Oh, if Nico died, I was going to be so devastated. The walrus turned into a man. He gave her a good luck charm. I even wrote here, Nico was one of my favorite characters. She really was. She was just so well dressed. She was just that girl. Due to the influence of her father, something I noticed, due to the influence of her deceased father and her desire for courage, Nico is often seen wearing a makeup that is either red or in similar tone, pink or orange, and uses it as an outward expression of the trait she desires to have the most. In the final moments of Deadboy Detective, the hooded figure is seen wearing a pink coat, an item of clothing that would only match Nico's color palette and could suggest that death wasn't the end of Nico. That was so powerful. Like, what? And also, I love the tapeworms that were that were inside of Nico in episode 3, I presume. That was one of my favorite episodes as well. Kashi also was one of my favorite episodes. Oh, I said the spiritual pillars in the universe, but I felt like I wish I could put it on sorry. I wish I could put it on YouTube, but I can't. Kashi was the Asian Indian man, like Indian Asian man. And he was in the stomach of the fish. I forgot her name. I have to put it in. If I don't put it in, I'm so sorry, but write it in the comments. It was a folklore about a fish, and it was the lighthouse episode where the fish it was a huge fish. She needed a lullaby. So the crew had to put a lullaby inside her, and the night nurse ended up getting swallowed up and meeting Kashi. And Kashi definitely gave me the Hinduism vibes, pillars of life, and the laws of the universe, which I also study. And Kashi was just amazing. Like his whole script, like, why are you rushing life? Whatever's meant to be will be. And he was giving her, he said, he also represented reincarnation. So again, like I said, I love this show because it gives you every aspect of what we believe, whether it's mythology, whether it's African spirituality, which is hoodoo, which is ATR, Christianity. It gives us Hinduism. It gives us spirituality on a plane. It gives us witchcraft. It gives us Wicca. It gives us all types of things that we can study and realize that how connected we are. It also gave me this peace of mind when it came to when it came to death, because there is a show with Robin Williams. Hold on, y'all. I'm going to continue to talk, but I want to say the correct name of the show. It's with Robin Williams. I'm going to put it in. And it's also a movie about death. And it used to make me comforted. But Deadboy Detectives also made me very comforted because it shows different aspects of death. Like some of us are going to be angels and spirit guides that come to divinely guide people. There's going to be people that reincarnate. There are going to be people that are in heaven or in that plane of heaven. There's going to be people that are in the lower spaces, if hell exists, but it's going to be in a less desirable plane. You get what I'm saying? I don't know. I can talk about this movie for ages, as well as how it correlates with the same movie that Robin Williams is in. Hold on, like I'm about to write it right now. But it was such a great show. And if they cancel this, Netflix, you will be hearing from my lawyer. No, I'm just kidding. But I hope you guys don't. I hope that they renew it for a season 2. I really do. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to Williams. I think it's like where something. Okay, this is what it's called. Sorry, y'all. Ooh, no, what the heck? Sorry, y'all. I'm about to put it in. Robin Williams movie where he is in heaven. He goes to hell in a movie too. Okay, so it's called Where Dreams May Come. If you want to have existential crisis and you like mythology and you like all these things, watch Deadboy Detectives. It's a series. It's 8 episodes. Also watch What Dreams May Come, and also watch The Truman Show. And just get your life. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I don't mean like get your life. I mean like get your life, right? Like go through that existential crisis, meditate, have duality. You know what I mean? Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I enjoyed making this. I'm sorry I couldn't edit all fancy like I usually do, but I know you guys will enjoy this show tremendously. Okay? So thank you. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, not only to this, the Deadboy Detectives, but also like, comment, and subscribe when it comes to the the first episode I just posted about Good Times, because I think you guys will enjoy that review as well. Again, thank you guys for watching. Okay. Love you. I'll see you soon. Bye.